Hello students, how are you all? So this week we'll do third chapter from geography, Our Changing Earth. In this first session we'll have some basic points, that is introduction, endogenic forces, volcano, earthquakes, exogenic forces, major landforms, work of a river, work of a sea waves, work of ice, and work of wind. So these are the points that we'll cover and learn in this chapter. So introduction. The Earth's crust consists of several large and some small, rigid, irregularly shaped plates which carry continents and the ocean floor, called lithospheric plates. These plates move around very slowly, just a few millimeters each year, because of the movement of the molten magma inside the earth. The earth movements are divided on the basis of the forces which cause them. Endogenic forces, the forces which act in the interior of the earth. Exogenic forces, the force that works on the surface of the earth. So, lithospheric plate. The lithospheric plate is broken into a number of plates known as the lithospheric plates. These plates move around very slowly because of the movement of the molten magma inside the earth. The molten magma inside the earth moves in a circular manner. The movement of the plate causes changes on the surface of the earth. The earth movements are divided on the basis of the forces which cause them. These forces are called endogenic forces and exogenic forces. In this chart, you can see earth movement, that is endogenic force and exogenic force. So under endogenic force, it's sudden force and disastropic forces. Under sudden forces, earthquake, volcano and landslides. In disastropic forces, building mountains. Exogenic forces. Under exogenic forces, it's erosional and depositional. So under erosional and depositional is river, wind, sea waves and glaciers. Endogenic forces. Endogenic forces, literal meaning is endo means inside, genic means origin. Endogenic forces sometimes produce sudden movements and at the other times produce slow movements. Sudden movements like earthquakes and volcanoes cause mass destruction over the surface of the earth. The force which act in the interior of the earth are called endogenic forces. Endogenic forces sometimes produce sudden movements and at other times produces slow movements. Sudden movements like earthquake and volcano cause mass destruction over the surface of the earth. That first is volcano. The volcano is a vent, that is opening in the earth's crust through which molten material erupts suddenly. You can see how the opening of the volcano is. It sends out ash and gases. The opening is called crater, and you can see vent and lava. The crust, mantle, magma chamber is given in the image. You can refer it for your better understanding. Volcano is a vent in the earth's crust through which molten magma erupts suddenly. Earthquake. When the lithospheric plates move, the surface of the earth vibrates and it travels all around the earth. This vibration is called earthquake. So, when the lithospheric plates move, the surface of the earth vibrates, whose vibrations can travel all around the earth. These vibrations are called earthquake. The place in the crust where the movements start is called the focus. The place on the surface above the focus is called the epicenter. Earthquake cannot be predicted, however, the impact can certainly be minimized if we are prepared beforehand. Some common earthquake prediction methods adopted locally by people, including studying animal behavior, fish in the ponds get agitated, snakes come on the surface. Earthquake preparedness. Where to take shelter during an earthquake? Safe spot under a kitchen counter, table or desk, against an inside corner or wall. Stay away from fireplaces, areas around chimneys, windows that shatter, including mirror and picture frame. Be prepared. Spread awareness amongst your friends and family members and face any disaster confidently. Earthquake preparedness. Where to take shelter during an earthquake? Safe spot under kitchen counter or desk against an inside corner or wall. Stay away from fireplace, areas around chimneys, windows that shatter including mirrors and picture frames. Be prepared. Spread awareness among your friends and family members and face any disaster confidently. Here is the image where we have given plate boundary, epicenter, seismic wave radiate out in all directions. Focus. This is where the earthquake occurs. It is the origin of the seismic energy. Do refer the image for your better understanding. So let me explain you the focus. The place in the crust where the movement start is called the focus. Epicenter. The place on the surface above the focus is called the epicenter. Vibration travels outwards from the epicenter as waves. Sorry. The greatest damage is usually closest of the epicenter and the strength of the earthquake decreases away from the center. Some common earthquake predictions method adopted locally by people, including studying animal behavior, fish in the ponds and get agitated, snakes come out to the surface. Exogenic forces. Literal meaning exo means outside, genic means origin. Major landforms. The landscape is being continuously worn away by two processes: weathering, that is the breaking up of the rocks on the earth's surface; erosion is the wearing away of landscape by the different agents like water, wind and ice. In this image given for the reference, you can see all the landforms, land and water features. There are different landforms shown like glaciers, volcano, mountain range, plateau, canyon, basin, desert, inlet, river, delta, island, peninsula, lake, valley. You can see different landforms in the given image. The landscape is being continuously worn away by two processes: weathering and erosion. Erosion is the wearing away of the landscape by different agents like water, wind and ice. The eroded material is carried away or transported by water, wind, etc. and eventually deposited. This process of erosion and deposition creates different landforms on the surface of the earth. Work of a river. The running water in the river erodes the landscape. When the river tumbles at a steep angle over very hard rocks or down a steep valley side, it forms a waterfall. As the river enters the plain, it twists and turns, forming large bends known as meanders. Due to continuous erosion and deposition along the side of the meanders, Oxbow Lake is created over time. When the river flows its bank, it leads to the flooding of the neighboring area. The flooding results in the deposition of layer of fine soil and other material called sediments along its bank, which leads to the formation of a flat fertile floodplains. The raised banks are called levels. As the river approaches the sea, the speed of the flowing water decreases and the river begins to break up. The breaking of river into number of streams called distributaries. The river becomes so slow that it begins to deposit its load. Each distributary forms its own mouth. The collection of sediments from all the mouths forms a delta. See, the same terms you must have seen in the earlier slide in the images. So, work of a river is waterfall. When the river tumbles at steep angle over very hard rock or down a steep valley side, it forms a waterfall. Meanders. Meanders. As the river enters the plain, it twists and turns, forming large bends known as meanders. Cut-off lakes. Due to the continuous erosion and deposition along the side of the meander, the ends of the meander loops come closer and closer. In due courses of time, the meanders loop cut off from the river and form a cut-off lake, also called as Oxbow Lake. Floodplains. As it floods, the river deposits layer of the fine soil and other material called sediments along its bank. This leads to the formation of a flat, fertile floodplain. The raised banks are called levels. Distributaries. When the river approaches the sea, the speed of the following water decreases and the river begins to break up into a number of streams called distributaries. Delta. The river becomes so slow that it begins to deposit its load, which distributary forms its own mouth. The collection of sedimentary from all the mouth known as delta. See, in this image also I have shown the waterfall, the flood banks, how oxbow lakes are formed, levels are formed, meanders are formed. Work of a sea wave. The erosion and deposition of the sea wave gives rise to coastal landforms. Sea waves continuously strike at the rocks. Rocks develop and with they become large and wider. Thus, hollow-like waves are formed on the rocks which are called sea caves. Over time, these activities become bigger and bigger. Only the roof of the cave remains, which results in form of a sea arcs. Further, erosion breaks the roof and only walls are left. These walls-like feature are called stacks. The steep rocky coast rising almost vertically above sea water is called a sea cliff. The sea waves deposit sediments along the shores, forming beaches. You can see the image for your reference: sea cave, sea arc, sea stick. Okay, so I'll explain you again. Sea caves. The erosion and deposition of the sea wave gives rise to coastal landforms, and they continuously strike out at the rocks and developing cracks. The cracks became larger and the wider over time, due to which hollow-like caves are formed on the rocks. They are called sea caves. Sea arcs. When the cavities become bigger and bigger, only the roof of the caves remain. It forms as sea arc. Stakes. Erosion breaks the roof and only walls are left, and these walls like feature are called stakes. Sea cliffs. The steep rocky coast rising almost vertically above sea water is called sea cliff. So we'll go ahead with work of ice. A glacier is a large mass of ice continuously moving over land surface, which too erodes the landscape by bulldozing soil and stone to expose the solid rock below. Glaciers carve out deep hollows. As the ice melts, they get filled up with water and become beautiful lakes in the mountain. The mountain carried by the glacier, such as rocks, big and small, sand and silt, get deposited. This deposit form glacial monaries. So glaciers are the rivers of ice, which erodes the landscape by bulldozing soil and stones to expose the solid rock below. Glaciers carve out deep hollows here. As the ice melts, they get filled up with water and become beautiful lakes in the mountain. Glacial monaries. The material carried by the glacier, such as rocks, big and small, sand and silt, gets deposits and forms glacial monaries. So next topic is work of ice. You can see the image, okay, for your reference, how the glaciers break, how the landforms are formed. So next topic is work of wind. An active agent of erosion and deposition in the deserts is wind. In deserts, rocks are present in the shape of a mushroom, commonly called mushroom rocks. Winds erode the lower section of the rock more than the upper part. Therefore, such rocks have narrower base and wider top. When the wind blows, it lifts and transports sand from one place to another. When it stops blowing, the sand falls and gets deposited in low hills like structures which are called sand dunes. When the grains of the sand are very fine and light, the wind can carry it over very long distance. Such and when such sand is deposited in large area, it is called loess. Large deposits of loess are found in China. Can see the images, wind flowing over a long periodic center, different forms. So I'll explain you again. Wind in the desert are active agent of erosion and deposition in wind. The mushroom rock, the center picture. In desert, rocks can be shaped like a mushroom, commonly called mushroom rocks. Sand dunes, the first image. When the it lifts when the wind blows, it lifts and transports sand from one place to another. When it stops blowing, the sand falls and gets deposited in low hill like structure. These are called sand dunes. Loess. When the grains of the sand are very fine and light, the wind can carry it over very long distance. When such sand is deposited in large areas, it is called loess. So, in short, we'll again go through the lithosphere. The lithosphere is broken down in a number of plates known as the lithospheric plates. The movement of the plate causes change on the surface of the earth. The forces that act in the interior of the earth are called endogenic forces, while the forces that work on the surface of the earth are called exogenic force. So this is how we have learned all the topics of the chapter, and I hope you have understood all the chapters very well. So again, today I would advise you or instruct you to read the chapter thoroughly, underline the hard words, tick mark the hard words, write them in your notebook 5 times, read the slides, listen to the video, look at the images for your better understanding, and we'll continue with the session 2 for question answers. So see you soon in session 2. Till then, bye and take care.